States as his country during the Revolutionary War when he was in his 20s. On the 4th of July, 1835, in his 80th year, he composed his epitaph and died 2 days later.
At the end, Marshall believes he's failed. All his life, he's fought for his hero George Washington's vision of a strong federal government to hold the new nation together. Now it seems to be coming apart.
By 1838, the Georgia Cherokee are on the Trail of Tears on their way to Oklahoma.
The approximate number of people forcibly removed is about 16,000.
It was through the dead of winter. Approximately 4,000 people died on the trail.
An even greater disaster lies ahead as the country hurtles towards civil war, something Marshall had feared and resisted for so long. One pivotal case decided by his successor, Chief Justice Taney, will confirm Marshall's worst fears.
In Dred Scott, the court was attempting to resolve the slavery issue that was on the verge of tearing the country apart.
Dred Scott is a slave who petitions the court for his freedom after living for many years in a territory and a state where slavery is illegal.
Taney's great mistake, he looks and he sees that the political branches are not solving this grievous problem, slavery. And he has the individual and institutional arrogance to say, we'll fix it.
Not only does Taney return Dred Scott to slavery, but he also declares that African Americans cannot be citizens under the Constitution.
And of course, Dred Scott did not avert the crisis, as Chief Justice Taney, who wrote the opinion, hoped. If anything, it exacerbated the problem.
Had Marshall lived, could history have been different?
I doubt that Marshall would have taken the position that Taney took, that an African American who was a descendant, who was a slave, and whose ancestors were slaves could never be a citizen of the United States.
I think Marshall would have looked at it and realized the court is not going to solve this problem. Concerned as he always was on protecting the court as an institution, I think he would have realized that was a fight to stay out of.
But Marshall's ideas prevail, even in the middle of the Civil War. More than 40 years earlier, he had declared in McCulloch versus Maryland that
the government of the Union is emphatically and truly a government of the people. In form and substance, it emanated from them. Its powers are granted by them and are to be exercised directly on them and for their benefit.
That this nation, under God, shall have a new birth of freedom, and that government of the people, by the people, for the people, shall not perish from the earth.
Lincoln's Gettysburg Address echoes Marshall's words and affirms the purpose of his life, defending the United States and the Constitution that holds it together.
Historians debate about whether great forces change history or whether great men do. On this issue, a great man did, and that was John Marshall.
He was determined, and that is a word I would stress, determined, to do all he could to make the United States succeed.
He provided the foundation on which everything that has been built since then rests.
Now, does that mean I think that every argument he made was valid or every case was resolved correctly? No, no. But who would agree with every decision of any justice?
There are things that only a court can do to protect our nation. And courts must be there to do them. And that was, in the end and in the beginning, Marshall's vision.
As Marshall's friend and colleague Joseph Story told his law students, men like Marshall are found only when our need is greatest. When we need new men and women to revere the Constitution and defend the United States, they can be inspired by Marshall's example.
Look for Courtmaker on major video-on-demand sites, including Amazon Prime Video and Apple TV+.
Welcome to Laura Flanders and Friends, the place where the people who say it can't be done take a back seat to the people who are doing it.
This is how change happens in this country, when vast numbers of people come together and defend a vision of the future.
If we do nothing, we'll be looking at apartheid in America.
Learning about the past has really no value if you're not going to apply it for a better future.
My hands are so sweaty, I can barely grip the steering wheel.
And I knew exactly what I needed.
And I so wanted that.
And I'm reveling in this diversity because the beauty of it, it was just breathtaking.
For generations, the Yurok people have brought fire to the land.
Fire is medicine for the land. But in my lifetime, it's been outlawed.
Margot Robbins is fighting to restore this ancient tradition.
We are part of nature. It will take care of us, but we in turn need to take care of it.
Fire Tender on Local USA.
At least 1 in 7 kids have experienced child abuse in the past year. Especially when perpetrated by a parent, abuse is often difficult to report. Equally frightening is the ease with which online predators lure teens into abusive relationships. Next on Our Time, filmmakers Olive Van Imerine and Charisma Lee Rivera tackle child abuse head-on, looking for reconciliation within their families while healing themselves. And stay tuned afterwards for interviews with the filmmakers.
Why don't people understand me?
I'm tired of running so fast.
I want to be heard.
Why are people afraid?
I'm ready for change.
I hear you.
I see you.
My time?
My time.
Our time is now.
Major funding for this program is provided by the Russell Grinnell Memorial Trust, Steve and Marianne Waldorf, and Betsy and Warren Dean. Additional funding is provided by Arts in Society, the Joseph Henry Edmondson Foundation, the B. Vredenberg Foundation, the Buck Foundation, the Calm Foundation, the Kirkpatrick Family Fund, the Cultural Office of the Pikes Peak Region, and Will Stoller Lee.
A concave, spiraling anxiety centers itself in the pit of your gut. And the longer you think about it, the tighter that feeling gets. You try to center it into your toes, pedaling as the air sings through your laces. But you can't help but ponder gravity and how easily gravel carves elbows. How did you feel when I said I wanted to go to Grand Junction?
Honestly, I'd just been puffing my chest to go, I told you so. Everybody, I told you all, she would go back and she would reconcile with Tim at some level. This needed to happen. This time would come.
He may not be able to handle it and get up and walk out. About him being a father, he hasn't been, Olive. Be strong and be who you are. Don't be afraid, because that's what I always was afraid. Don't be afraid of him.
Battery goes.
Okay, yeah.
I'm gonna go get this pair just in case, but go ahead.
Yeah.
Oh, you.
Thank you. I've been color coding my questions for Tim, kind of just like on level of difficulty. If he gets mad and like walks out and leaves, then he gets mad, you know? And I honestly feel like that's kind of expected.
It's weird, like, seeing you again.
I know. Is it 4 or 5 years?
Almost 8.
Jesus.
Yeah. You have a dog, right?
Yeah, Cooper.
Yeah.
Have you seen him?
I saw pictures on Instagram.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah.
He's cute.
He's a good boy.
Yeah.
He's my furry angel.
Yeah.
Yeah. So was it hard to do this?
Yeah.